Hi everyone, in this video I wanted to show you how you can display your notes which live in a specific folder, in a list, and also in a Kanban view. And not just the notes, also the tasks inside the notes can be now displayed in a Kanban board, for example, or in a list. So first of all, you click on a folder in the sidebar, and then it opens this folder view here with the different options at the top and a list of the notes inside the folder. Right now, or by default, it's grouped by folder. So if I, for example, have a subfolder here, let's move this note inside, and it will be displayed inside the subfolder here and grouped by this value. So there are also more grouping options available. For example, the default ones are date created, edited, tags, and none. And here I also have like type and other tags, icon color, icon category, and so on. I will show you how this works. For example, here by category, it found accounting, feature, and marketing inside the notes. And let's move this back from the subfolder. And you can, let's open one of the notes here. So I've used Option click to open it in a side-by-side view, in a split view. And at the top you have the properties, which are already populated here. So let's delete these properties. If you can type them out, but it's always lots of work to type them. So we have built an AI feature to populate them, and it will try to read the sibling nodes in the same folder and try to look for a pattern if it can find something. So let's try it. So here you see it's using blue and has given it a category and a type because the other nodes also have a category. It reads the node content as well and sends it to OpenAI to figure out which icon to use, for example, and which category to use. So this way we have automatically the category and type properties populated, and now we can group it by these values. So here is type, for example. So these are projects. So that's why it chose blue for the color, because it identified these two nodes as projects and this one as some other type. Let's have a look. So this is accounting. Okay. And now you can change this also here. So the style is list, and we can display it as cards. And now we have columns. So now you can build your Kanban board out of this. And in the fields, you can also enable, for example, icon, if you want to see the icon inside the cards. You can also enable other properties like type, if you want to see the type. So you click on the drop down and you can, for example, change this to a checklist. It will automatically move it to the column, or you just move it yourself by drag and drop. So that it will show you a warning that it will add a property order, because this allows you to sort the nodes in a custom way inside, or the cards inside the column in a custom order. So it's not by title, not alphabetically. You can just move it where you want. But for this, it needs an order property. So it will add it just here in the front meta. So now if you want to have like a classical Kanban board for this, so we would have something like status, and then we say backlog, for example, and let's group it by status. So these are not categorized yet, but let's give this another status, for example, doing. So, and a third status could be done. And then we have more of a classical Kanban board. You can drag the cards into the different columns. So at the moment, one limitation is that you can only see the columns which are available inside some of the nodes. So at least one node needs to have the backlog status, for example. Another one the doing, and another one the done. So we are still looking for ways to fix this. But for now, if you drag this one, for example, to doing, the done column will disappear. And but we are looking for a workaround for this. So now these are just the nodes inside a folder, and you can build a Kanban board. You can show it as a list, You can display anything below it. For example, you can also add properties like assigned, to whom it is assigned if you work in a team, just to see as a quick overview to whom a specific card is assigned. And you can use it not only for like project management, but also if you want to manage your books, for example. You can give a different properties, like if you which state it is, or if you want to read it, if you are reading it, if you have read it already. Or you can also add more process steps, like one could be backlog, another review, or one could be just ideas, and so on. So there are lots of ways to show and display and use the Kanban board. So I already showed you the style, so you can show it as a list or as a card. You can turn on and off fields. You can also search the notes, like calendar, and will automatically filter it for you. If you need more information on documentation, you can click on the question mark button here as well. And there's another one, filter by. So if you just want to have a specific subfolder, for example, you can filter by the folder, or also interesting is you can group by icon, and it shows the icon here at the top. Or you can even filter by a specific status. So filter by status equals backlog, to see just the backlog items, and you can change the sorting. You should ascend, descend. So it will try to use order by default because it adds this as a property. So you can sort things in a custom way and don't have to sort, or not forced to sort things by title, for example. Okay, now let's switch to tasks. So how do we show tasks here in which are inside the notes? Let me open this again. And by the way, I use Option click to open the node in a side in a split view, and they have already tasks inside them. So let's view those. So you can change it by clicking here on the level. So there are two levels, it's node and tasks. So let's switch to tasks, and it's already cards view, or style is already cards. And we'll change also the group by to node path by default. So we can see here the folder name and then the node name. And these are the tasks inside those nodes. So this node has these 4 tasks, this node has these tasks, and it shows you the state, if it's already completed, if it's open, if it's scheduled. And scheduled here in this case means, because it's a regular node, not a calendar node, it's sufficient if the task has a date attached to it, then it counts as scheduled. So let's close this again. And also formats the markdown inside the tasks for you. So this is a very simple group by, and you can drag the tasks between the nodes here. So let me drag, for example, this task. I drag it from monthly accounting checklist to the marketing project for SEO, and now let's open it, and you see it attached this task from the other node to this node below the task set up Google Analytics. So it tries to figure out where to put the task, and it takes the index, for example, of the tasks you drop below it. So in this case, it used the index of set up Google Analytics, so it could figure out where to put it here inside the node. So this is one way to group it, is node path, and you just see an overview in general of your nodes and the tasks inside your nodes. Then there's also node title, and in this case it just uses the title of the node and not the complete path, but you can still drag the tasks around. So in the same way, this is basically almost the same. It's just that this is the complete path and this is just the title of the node. And then we also have heading. So this is under which heading is the task, and in these cases they can be in different nodes, but it uses the heading of those different nodes and puts them into one column. So you could use the same headings between nodes, so it's more consistent. In this case, some of the nodes have the tasks heading. This is marketing, for example. This is as well. This is the calendar integration, also as a heading tasks. And now if you move it, so let's say we want to move one into the reconcile bank accounts. We can move this one, for example. Now we open it, and now it moved it to this heading below the existing task. So this also moves the tasks between nodes and between headings. You can also, so this is a marketing project, and this is also a marketing project. Actually, we can also enable the node title here as a field, and then we can actually see in which node these tasks are living. So that's why we have not just the node path, because the node path gets really long in some cases, but also the node title, which ignores the folder here. So for example, in this case, conduct a keyword analysis, and this is create. So the conduct one is above the create one, so I can drag it below, and then let's check. And now it changed the order of those tasks here inside the node as well. So this is how you can use the Kanban on the cards feature, display feature with tasks. But how can you build a Kanban board with this? So one way is to actually change the headings to something like backlog, doing, done, or which is much more flexible, you can use tags, and not just tags, but attributed tags. So let's set it up. Okay, let's open this one. Here we enter tag, for example, to do. And you can already group this by tag now. Here tags. And you see the to do tag here. So you could use to do, a hashtag to do, hashtag backlog, hashtag done as well. For example, let's take this one and say it's backlog. Wait a second. And then we have here backlog, to do, and uncategorize. Now if I move this one here, this is the optimize one. So updated this, where is it? I think it's a different node. So it added the hashtag to do to this task, and it added also in parentheses a number, which is the order. So if you change the order, it will also add, similar how it did it with the nodes, it will also add an order index number, so you can actually order these things in a custom way. So, but this is still a little bit inflexible. So you can also use attributed tags. So you already seen this is actually an attribute now, but this has no name. So if it's just a number, like it is here, NoPlan will automatically interpret it as an order index. But you can actually, let's remove it again and start again. So I opened the parentheses, and then you can type something status to do, or yeah. And in this, or not to do, let's say doing. And here we also use the hashtag to do, but status backlog. So it's just the name of the attribute or property, then colon, space, so it's visually easier to see, and then the name of the, or the value of the key. So now it's all text, but we can, if we now click on group by, you will see something new appeared, which is the hashtag to do status. So it detected the attributes inside the to do hashtag. And now we can use it for grouping, filtering, and enable, disable it in fields. So let's group it. So now we have backlog and doing. Let's add another one for done. So we can just use this one, to do, and then we say status done. Now we can close this. So now we have our 3 columns, and if we drag these things into the columns, it will automatically not just add the tag, it will also update the attributes inside the tag. So this one has no tags at all, design user interface. So this is done, so we can actually move it to the done column. Now if we open it again, you see it added the to do, the order index, and the status done. Now if we move the same card again to backlog, it changed the status to backlog inside the tag. So it updates the tag inside the node of the task, and now you can use it as like a full functioning Kanban board. And if you don't want to see all the tasks inside a specific folder, you can also use the filter in this case. For example, node path and then equals. For example, if I just want to see, let's say, the marketing project for SEO tasks, I can filter it by this and have only those tasks here available. And just like with the nodes, and we already did it, you can enable and disable fields to see the task state, or if it's, you can add more attributes actually, not just one. If you separate by comma, you can say assigned Eduard, for example. Let's say here assigned David. We have to enable this assigned, and we see it here, David and Eduard. And I can even change it here from, let's add it also to this one, assigned Eduard. So this has the same issue as with the nodes. If the key value doesn't exist, it will not show it. So it will only show what actually exists inside the nodes. So for example, I want to change assigned this task, which is assigned to Eduard. I want to change it to David. So I just click, a drop down opens, you can select David. And if you check it, it updated it actually to David in this case. And of course, you can check off a task on and off. You can also right click and cancel the task, or you right click and completely delete it. This also works. So this is the new Kanban, or the updated Kanban feature or folder view, which worked always with nodes, but we have added this also for tasks in this case. Just to recap, if you have nodes, you can populate the properties here, and if you just set up one or two nodes with a specific pattern, like all the project nodes are blue, for example, and then you hit the AI button for new nodes, it will try to match the style and this pattern. So it's easier to populate the properties, and then you can use with level nodes, you can use this to create your overview of either with the Kanban board or with the list. Or you can go a level deeper and actually see the tasks inside those nodes. If you just want to see it for a specific node, you can filter it down. And you can also add attributed tags, so which are normal tags, but with parentheses, where you add key value pairs for example, the state or status, or assigned. And then you can group it by these values as well to build your Kanban board out of tasks. And the beauty of the tags is that it works across various nodes, because you select a folder as well. So you can use the same tag across different nodes and don't have to focus on a specific node. Okay, I hope this was useful, and I'm looking forward to your feedback, and thanks for watching.